Yes, this is something the problem the trans community has created, because no, usually we could tell who is who, but now that people are actively trying to deceive others about their sex, it's harder, like, or it
So you
has
can't
created a
tell.
hypervigilance.
So you can't tell.
You definitely can tell.
What the
But
fuck?
some oh my god,
Can you tell or can you not tell?
Okay,
'Cause
so you didn't listen.
You're saying no. You're saying we can tell, but then when I say, well, people clearly can't tell because they're assaulting people, then you're like, oh well, we used to be able to tell, and now we can't really tell.
No, we can still tell, but there's a hyper. Okay, we can still tell, but there's a hypervigilance that's occurred. So if they see
so
a
the
masculine
hypervigilance is fucking up your ability
can
to
I
tell.
finish?
So no. So is the hypervigilance fucking up your ability to tell?
Not my ability, but some people have a hypervigilance now.
Martha,
So,
do
okay,
you
listen, I do have I'm 43. I do have a hypervigilance
so you
as
were
well.
alive in the 90s.
Yeah, I was born in 81.
Yeah, so in the 90s, I don't know if you remember, but gay people were getting a lot of criticism for using the bathroom because they were thought to be predators against children.
Okay.
So I don't know why you're saying like
women
this
can't have boundaries because why?
Huh?
Right. So women can't have boundaries away from males because of that?
Well, you're just saying that it's now because of this hypervigilance of trans people, which is why people are being mistaken. And no, it's just this homophobia that's shifted into transphobia.
Well, can I say a little bit? Okay.
1 second, almost done, I swear. I really do take I don't get paid per word seriously. Because it's people who are not adhering to the binary, whether it comes to their sexuality or whether it comes to their gender. Because let's face it, the bathroom is not a safe space for women. Men can enter the bathroom. Men can assault women in the bathroom.
Okay.
Just because trans people use the bathroom, it doesn't mean that it stops them.
So there's a few things to go over there. First of all, what you're kind of saying is women are going to get raped anyway, so fuck safeguarding. That's not a reasonable stance. We definitely. So the boundary creates like a boundary, a barrier. They have to actually violate the boundary. Well, it does, because if we have a designation on the door, that is a boundary, right? So if a male walks through that door, we have recourse as soon as they walk through that door. We can go, hey, what are you doing in here?
Did I not bring my son into the bathroom with me?
Can I finish it all? Or
well, 1 second. I want to ask this question. Should I not bring my son into the bathroom with me?
Not if he's like 12, probably not. If he's like a baby or a toddler or a child.
If he's 6. Wait, but that's a male. You specifically said that this is segregation, away from males. So I don't see why age would make a difference.
Well, the reason we segregate from males is because they perpetrate the majority of the sexual and violent crime against women and children, and we also want privacy and dignity away from
boys.
Well, I think that we're not so concerned about boys as we are men, right?
Oh, so it's not males now.
Are you saying that you're...
I just want to make sure. It's not males now.
Is this what you're
men.
Stand on?
I just want to make sure. It's not males now.
You're pivoting to another thing and not letting me finish the last thing we were talking about, safeguarding and boundaries, right?
Well, so, this is a basis of your argument, because you said males, and now you're not saying it's males, now you're saying it's men.
Okay, well, we definitely don't want 13-year-old boys in there. We have a reasonable, we'll allow children to go with their mothers. That's not it's some gotcha or something. We can't have any boundaries away from males because male children are involved in that. What? No, we can definitely be reasonable here.
Well, then you're acknowledging that it's men and not boys, right?
Well, I mean, we do have problems with boys now. I don't know if you've read, but some of the largest perpetrators of rape now are children. 18-year-old boys have 10 years of hardcore pornography under their belt nowadays. So this is definitely a little bit more of a problem.
Source on that?
But we're not worried about 8-year-old boys with you.
Do you have a source on that?
Yeah, I can dig that up for you.
Thank you.
I can send it to you when I'm not in the middle of a debate. Anyway, about the safeguarding, though, the boundary is there to allow recourse to occur. So if you go in the bathroom with your child, or your grandmother's in there, or your mother's in there, whoever, and they see a man walk in the door, or someone else sees a man on the outside walk through the door, they can be like, hey, what are you doing? They can investigate, they can whatever. And then this is called safeguarding because a lot of crime is opportunistic in nature, right? So we don't just give men opportunity after opportunity after opportunity to come in our bathrooms and our change rooms and our locker rooms to just do whatever they want and wait for the right opportunity, right? We have the recourse as soon as they cross the boundary.
Okay, I want to ask you one question. If I were to create a system to where people were safe using the restroom, would that solve the issue?
Safety is not the only concern, though. There's privacy and dignity as well.
If privacy, so my system would be that we would have individual stalls that have concrete walls, floor to ceiling, and then a door that goes floor to ceiling. And then washrooms would be common. So that essentially only one person can fit in the toilet. There can be a couple handicap or a couple family ones. And then we would all wash our hands together.
Well, I think that would be disrespectful to Muslim women or women who might need to wash a period mess out in the sink. I think having the sink and the mirror private as well for women and also space to...
Yeah, it's not about safety. Gotcha.
My high school had that.
Jennifer, thank you for the $20 to kick Martha. Give fucked. Yes, we love it.
My high school actually had that where they had a toilet, mirror, and a sink all in a little stall.